Hey, thanks for joining another episode of Wednesday Chats. I'm Sean.
I'm Jason.
And we're so glad you joined us. Today we're going to be talking about musicians in the church.
Fun.
So, Jason, as the worship pastor, a small section of your job is working with musicians.
Yes.
Recruiting musicians. Mm-hmm. So we're just going to start there. If someone wanted to be on the worship team, let me ask this question. If someone wanted to be a part of the worship team, is there a need for anybody to help?
Such a good question.
Just a softball right there.
Yeah, such a good question. No, there absolutely is a need. And we were kind of talking about this a couple of weeks ago, I think. But the thing is that a lot of times at church, when people come to Sunday morning gatherings, we try to have everything good to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everything's staffed and full. So things on stage may look full. It may look like we have everything together every weekend, but that doesn't necessarily mean that is true. And I can say that from experience that we always need more people.
Yeah.
In any position.
Yeah.
The way that I like to think about it is the more people there are to serve and to volunteer, the more special it is for each person who does that position, if that makes sense, because you're giving them a good amount of time between when they're serving, and so they're really able to practice, rehearse, get ready, be in the right headspace, all that kind of stuff. Whereas if you're doing it every single week, sometimes you don't have as much time to do that stuff.
Yeah, and it can just kind of wear on you, and that's not good and healthy.
No.
Yeah. If you come on a Sunday, we're going to have kids ministry, we're going to have music, we're going to have a sermon, we're going to have those things. And sometimes we make purposeful choices to do like a stripped down thing. Mm-hmm. But sometimes we just don't have anybody. So look, it's Acoustic Sunday.
Yeah, that's kind of what happened this last Sunday. So that's a great example.
So we'll make sure to have some. Now, Jason, you have been playing an instrument for a very long time.
Yes.
And are very good, have a lot of comfort on stage.
Oh, thank you.
You would be astounded if you were behind the scenes to know sometimes the chaos that's going on around you, and you're just kind of cool, calm, and collected up there and rolling with it. But if someone hasn't been playing forever, is a little nervous, unsure, but they play some guitar, they play some electric, they play some bass, what should they do if they're thinking about it?
If they're thinking about joining the team. I think that a really good thing to do is to talk to me about it. Just come and introduce yourself. I try to be available after service. Just hanging around. And I really don't mind somebody come up to me and saying, "Hey, my name is Joe, and I would like to play bass," or "I'm thinking about it." Just saying, "I'm thinking about it." Just starting the conversation is really important. And of course, there's no pressure or anything like that. It would just be a conversation. Just, "Hey, so I'm thinking about this." "Okay, cool. Well, let's talk about that. Do you want to talk about it more?"
Now someone wants to get involved. They come to you, all that kind of good stuff. I think, especially if you say some positions were a little shorthanded, there could be a little nervousness, especially if you've been around church before, that once we got you hooked, you're going to be here every Sunday for the next 7 years. That's your strategy, right? Is just 50 Sundays a year?
Once I have a volunteer, I never let them go. No, the truth is I view it as the same thing, kind of as like an offering, when we talk about offering here, usually we're talking about some kind of money or something, some sort of resource, right? And so I view it as an offering. So whether that person says, "Oh, I want to serve, but I only would like to serve once every other month, or once a month, or every week." No. Again, I don't actually think that is healthy for people to do it every week.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I don't. That's just a joke. But yeah, whatever you feel like you've worked out between you and God, that's kind of where we go with it. So as much or as little as you feel that God is telling you to give and to help with.
Yeah.
So
and I know even just from the last couple of months that you're very respectful about people's boundaries, and if they only want to serve on certain weeks, or if you've got a spouse and they serve in another position and you want to make sure that you're scheduled to serve with them, or as a whole family thing or something like that you try to be very respectful about that. And if someone comes and says, "Hey, I need 2 months off," or I need the summer off, you're not going to get guilt tripped by Jason, because I'll say this with you standing here, is he really is very much concerned about you and what we can give to you, not get from you. And so I'll put words in your mouth, but I think that the best musicians are one who, like you said, offering, are giving of themselves, but it's really to enrich and strengthen their walk with Jesus.
Yes.
Not, we need a monkey to stand on stage and beat some cymbals together.
Right. Absolutely. My concern for anyone that is on my team, first and foremost, is their spiritual health. And I mean, their health as a person. I care about them. I care about, that's kind of the point of church, is to care for each other, and to know and to be known by others. And so, I've had lots of situations where people have come to me and said, "Hey, I'm so sorry, I can't make it," whether it's the night before or a week before or whatever. And I get it. I mean, life happens, stuff happens. I mean, man, I've got kids. I understand. No matter what, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's always grace and mercy in that way.
Yeah.
And the thing is that serving, at the church, whether you're doing it on the worship team or coffee or kids or whatever, it should be an enhancing type thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it should not hinder what goes on here and what we're trying to do as a church.
Yeah.
It should enhance that. It should get you more connected with people. It should get you more connected with the heart of the church and the heart of the community and all that kind of stuff. And so it should not be a burden, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Yeah,
and I love that you bring that up about it should get you more connected. I've always told people that the best ways to get connected into a church is in a small group or serving.
Yeah.
And serving on a team, whether it's worship team or it's tech team or it's first impressions or it's kids ministry or it's our outreach and events group or whatever it is, you end up with this kind of small community that people and they know you, and you end up with all the best things. You end up with inside jokes. You end up with this, right? You end up with these people who know you, pray for you, love you for who you are, not what you produce.
For sure.
And that's what community really looks like. And so if you're new or newer or haven't really had a chance to get connected, whether it's with worship team or any other place, I really would encourage you to find some place that you got some interest and you're willing to give something, because what you are going to get out is going to be way more than what you're going to give in. And last question I'll give to you is this, when it comes to musicianship, we someone comes to you and says, "Hey, I play the oboe. Right? I've been really good at the oboe. I really want to play the oboe." We have an audition process to make sure they kind of fit with who we are. What's that look like, real briefly? And then why does that matter? More importantly, why does it matter that we care about, maybe I'll put words in your mouth, but care about a quality of musicianship?
Sure, yes. So if someone says, I would like to be on the team, and I'm certain of that, I would like to audition, we usually set up a time. I do auditions on Sunday after second service. That's kind of the audition time slot, and if that doesn't work out for somebody, I can always, adjust that, and we can figure out a time that does. And I will always send ahead of time. I will send the music that we're going to be covering. So whether you're singing or playing an instrument, you will have what you need in your hands before we actually gather.
No impromptu on the spot reading.
No.
No sight reading.
No sight reading. Nope. You can. I mean, honestly, I will send usually at least a week before, if not more than that, depending on your comfort level as a musician, and I'll let you be prepared for that audition. And then usually we'll run through some songs and maybe get to know each other a little better. I'll ask you some questions, that kind of thing. And I'll usually share a little bit about myself. I kind of feel like at those things it's always awkward for me to say, so who are you? And have it be like a one-sided thing. So I usually share a little bit about myself too, so that person feels like they kind of got to know me a little bit as well, whether they want to or not. And then by the end of the audition, so right there, by the end, I can give you an answer as to whether I feel like this is the right place for you to serve, or maybe I feel like, man, you're so close, you just need a little bit of help, and maybe in a couple more months we can do another audition. And then I will also extend help. I'll say, if you'd like, we could meet, once a month or something, and I can give you some tips or whatever, and try to help that person. I don't just say, hey, you need to get better. Good luck. I try to help as much as I can that person, and so that they can be successful.
So lastly, why does it matter that we have why do we have an audition and then we have a bar of expectation? Why does that matter?
Yeah, there always is a bar, right? So and everybody probably knows what we mean by that, above and below, right? Yeah. So if you can't at least do this, I'm sorry, but we need to work on that kind of a thing. And the reason that we want to have that is because there always is one, no matter what. Yeah. There always is a bar. And if you don't verbalize what that is, it's most likely going to be pretty low. Yeah. And it also, clear expectations is such an important thing for anybody in any situation. To say, hey, this is kind of what's expected of you, so that they know the expectations, so that all parties involved know what the expectations are, so that that person can be successful. Yeah. Not so that we can wave our finger and say, ooh, you didn't do it.
You don't get to be in the cool kid club.
Right. You don't get your gold star today. No, it's so that you can be successful. That is the heart behind it. It is not to try to call anybody out or whatever. It's just so that we have a standard. We can say, hey, we at least need to be here. If we're not, I can do what I can to help you get there, but it at least needs to be there. And that's different for every church. There's some churches that the standard or the bar is exceptionally high. And they only will let like I've heard there's a worship leader in California, really popular, and he speaks at these worship conferences, and I've heard him speak a few times, and he said that they do auditions once a year, and that they have to do a YouTube video and to submit all this stuff. And they're very choosy, very picky. And you know what? For a church of 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, amazing.
And at least coming in, this is the expectation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But we just, that we don't have the same kind of numbers as that. And that's not a bad thing. Yeah. It's just who we are as a church. And so we get to set that, and it's different every place.
And when we're setting a bar, is it correct that one of the reasons we set a bar too is because we do want for you, not from you, but in the end, what we're doing as a worship team or as a tech team or kids ministry and the teams you serve on is we're there to serve others.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So if you're playing bass and you're doing it in a way that is hindering the church's ability to worship and song.
Right. We're really picking on bass players.
We're not really serving the church.
Yeah.
In that scenario.
Absolutely.
And so we pick a spot so you know the expectation. And we pick a spot that we think is reasonable and beneficial to our community.
Yes.
So that we can serve those who show up.
Yeah.
With one of the phrases we use around that we've used well before he showed up was to be undistractingly excellent.
Yeah.
I love that phrase because it's not about excellence. It's about doing it well enough so that you're not the focus and the distraction for other people in whatever we're doing. Because we really want our focus to be on Jesus. And so I hope that if you play an instrument or sing, that you'll take a chance to meet Jason, introduce yourself, and find a way to serve. Or if you want to serve on the tech team or kids ministry or really any other place on a team, I hope you'll find a community to get involved in and give of yourself, because we really do believe that you'll grow more and you'll find more life when you can pour yourself out in serving other people. Love you guys. Until next time.
Bye.